Hey guys and girls, Neil Wagstaff and Lisa Tamati here from Running Hot Coaching. This week on our weekly webinar, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about some health benefits that we think you should include in your weekly training. And make sure that you are including them, because in this day and age, and making sure that you've got longevity in your running career, you need the health benefits in there as well. Agree,
yep,
Lisa?
It's not just about collecting kilometers and miles, is what we always say. It's about having a strong, healthy body so that you can actually perform well and that you can withstand the rigors of your training. You need to be healthy, okay? So the two go hand in hand. So let's get straight into it, Neil.
Perfect, mate, perfect. Right, the reason we've come about this is what we're seeing is a lot of people who've been doing a similar program, who've been religiously following their training, they've been very diligent with their training, and they're just not getting the results they want. So we put together a little example for you here, and some of you at home may be able to resonate with this. So we've got two people, we've got Jenny and Jane. Now, both start their training, same program, both love the first session. Jenny pulls up sore, but bring it on feeling good. And Jane feeling pretty similar. Okay, now as they go through, 3 weeks in, feeling great. Jenny's got more energy, body's feeling firmer. Jane's starting to feel a bit of fatigue now. The fatigue's getting out of control. Her gut is telling her I should keep going, then it's telling her I should stop. She's tag teaming her training sessions with her PT and coach with her chiro because the exercise is hurting, and she's having to go and fix herself. So as we move through, we've got Jenny, who's lost 2 kg, she's got toned arms, tummy's feeling flatter, can beat a 12-year-old son in a race. So it's gone well, it's gone to plan. Jane, on the other hand, has been just as diligent with her training, but has now put on 2 kg. Her body's sore, and bottom line is going, she's going to stop exercising, stop training. Now, we're seeing a lot of this, a lot of people that are coming in and approaching us because they like our approach of our holistic training, and really covering every aspect of training and making sure we're taking that truly holistic approach. People are coming in with presenting like Jane is, and presenting exactly like Jane is. They put on the 2 kg, the body's sore, and they want to be able to have longevity in the sport. They want to be able to do a half marathon, a marathon, build up to longer distances, even starting with a 5k, but they feel they can't. We've now got the answer that you can. You've just got to be careful with how you do it. You agree, Lisa?
Yeah, totally. So in other words, you can have 2 people training exactly the same, doing exactly the same things, and they're going to get different results. Now, there's a number of reasons why this is happening. In other words, it's not just down to the actual training program. There's a number of other aspects that we're going to share with you now. One is being your genetics, your epigenetics, how they're expressing. We won't go too much in depth to that today because that's a complete another webinar. But the other side of the program is what sort of health sort of things are they bringing into the picture? How much stress, how much meditation, how much hydration, all of those sort of good things. And we're going to focus a little bit on meditation today as being one of those key aspects. And this might sound a little bit hairy-fairy, but it's really not, is it, Neil?
No, it's definitely, as we've got here on the slide, it's definitely the missing link. It's what, from our experience, people are exceptionally good at doing their training. They're good at doing those bits, but they're trying to fit it into a very busy life. They're trying to fit it into a busy work schedule, looking after the kids, looking after the family. It just becomes another stress on top of all the other stresses that they've got. The response from their body is exactly what we were seeing previously, with just getting to the point where they're not getting the results they want anymore, pulling up sore, pulling up tired. So I love this quote, Lisa. You should sit in meditation for 20 minutes a day. Unless you're too busy, then you should sit for an hour. So most of us will say, when we suggest this to people, I haven't got time, got to get my run in. In some cases, it's more important to be focusing on things like this and looking after your mental, emotional health than it is to go out and do the run. So what we're going to...
I've really struggled with this over the years. Like sitting quietly in a meditative state is for me very, very hard. I'm an active meditator, what I call. So it doesn't have to be like this little boy here actually sitting in a meditative state. Your meditation might be slightly different. It might look slightly different. If you really struggle with that quiet sitting thing, that's one way of meditating. That's a very good way of doing it. But it could also be sitting in a park in nature and doing some deep breathing and just really trying to clear your thoughts, or going for a walk, or like my husband, he hops on the guitar and he just plays around on the guitar, and that's his completely shut down from every other stress of the day, focusing on something very simple, something very repetitive. And that too can be a meditation as well. So it doesn't have to be the little boy monk there sitting 20 minutes a day, but the saying here, this Zen saying, that if you're very, very stressed, then you need to do it for longer. And we all underestimate the negative side effects of too much stress. We all need a little bit of stress to get us activated, to get us motivated, and all of that. But most of us in this really crazy world that we now live in nowadays have too high levels of constant stress, and our body is in a state of fight or flight all the time, isn't it, Neil?
Correct. So what we want to be doing is, as Lisa said there, some mental emotional stress is useful. That challenge, you want that some parts of your life. That challenge allows you to grow, develop, and get better. But too much, as Lisa was explaining to you guys there, is too much mental emotional stress can have a devastating effect on your health. So what we want to look at is making sure that you're addressing it. So the art of mental control, it is an art. So it is tough to sit down, to stop, to give yourself time. We think that everything else needs to come first. We think we'll fill everyone else's cup first before we fill ours. And effectively, it should be the other way around. We should make sure our cup's always full before we try and fill everyone else's, because then we're going to do a better job for them. So what we want to do...
Where they say, put your own oxygen mask
exactly.
on.
Exactly. So we want to make sure the meditation, as Lisa said, we want to frame it in a way that you don't need to be sitting on top of a mountain, as we're asking that question down at the bottom of the slide here. You don't need to go up and sit on top of a mountain and spend a couple of hours out there doing that. If you've got the time to do it, great. For some of you, it's going to be getting out in nature and just going for a walk, enjoying the bush, enjoying the beach, enjoying the ocean. For some of you, as Lisa's example, it may be picking up a musical instrument. So some of you, the simple breath practice that we're going to show you now will be a perfect way to start. You've got to trial a few things though and see what works best for you. But the idea is that you're going to calm the nervous system, stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system. You're going to balance that flight or fight response. So you're not continuously battling with your sympathetic nervous system always been elevated. And you're going to put yourself in a position where your body can truly relax. The idea then is that's when your body's going to start to recover. That's when it's going to start to really get some gains. So that when you do go and train, your body's ready to do it. When you do go and run, your body's ready to do it, and it responds accordingly, and you get to where you want to be with your training. So if we look at the asking that question, is 3 minutes a day enough? In answer to the question, yes, 3 minutes a day is enough. So we're not asking you for a couple of hours a day. We're simply going to challenge you and ask you to give yourself that time to start with. If you're currently not doing it, 3 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And you can simply do that by following this process.
Yeah, so this is the basic breath control practice, and there are lots of variations of different routines that you can use for your breathing. But what we're talking about here is diaphragmatic breathing. So most of us spend our life breathing in the top third of our chest. Okay, so we're going through life stressed out. We're using the top third of our lungs. We're not using and connecting with our diaphragmatic or belly breathing. So what we want you to do in this exercise is to inhale through the nose, because when you breathe in through the nose, that's connected much more to your diaphragm than if you're just breathing in through your mouth. Now, if you've got, like me, I often have problems with my nose, but do your best to get in through the nasal cavity, and then we want to see your belly moving outwards. So now I know that all you ladies and everyone's been told, suck your tummy in and keep it flat, right? This is a case for no. Let it hell hang out, okay? Let that belly go in and out, because you want to be able to see that you're using the full capacity of your lungs. And to do that, you really need to use your diaphragm. So we're going to inhale very slowly in through the nose to a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to hold that for a couple of seconds, and then exhale slowly to a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you're a bit more advanced, you might want to do it, to a count of 8. If you've got a nice deep lung capacity and you can do that, that's up to you as to how many you want to count to. But the process, if you just do this for 3 minutes, that will seem like quite a long time, I tell you, when you're focusing on your breath. But afterwards, if you don't come away feeling like I've just had a half-hour massage, then I'll be damned, because it really makes a difference. I do this if I'm getting into any sort of a stressful situation. I do a lot of speaking to thousands of people all around the country all the time, and I'm always nervous and uptight before I go on stage. I go out the back and I go into the loos or some private place, and I do my deep breathing exercises, and that really calms my nervous system down so that I can actually go and perform well and be a little bit more in control of my physiology. Neil, how do you use it on your daily?
Yeah, I mean, great example there. At least we've been able to do it anywhere. So me personally, I use it at different points throughout the day. So if I feel that, again, feeling overwhelmed in any way with the amount that needs to be done in the day, I use it. I sometimes use it when I'm at work. I sometimes use it at work. People will chuck on me in the gym because I'll quite happily go down and lie down on one of our stretching mats and just spend a couple of minutes just focusing on the breath. Well encouraged, and two reasons that I do that. One is it works, and as you say, get up afterwards and you're like, I feel re-energized afterwards. And it also means that we can set the example to those around us that initially look and go, has he gone mad? But then when they try it themselves, they're like, wow, this does make a difference. I often find
it's with that thing in the gym, eh?
yeah. It's great with the kids as well. Just I'm first to admit that, you know, being a parent is tough. Being a parent is hard, and both Sam, my wife, and I will use this technique to just
survive.
To survive, basically, to chill out when we need to, relax when we need to, and it does have a real positive effect. So use it and test it. Times where you may be feeling you're getting tense, I like using after a workout as well. So I love using it at the end of a run. And will sometimes, if I'm going straight from a busy day into a run, pre-warm-up, I will use it as well because it's great for oxygenating the system.
Yep, it's making those changes, those flipping from being in work mode to training mode, back into relax mode, all of those sort of good changes.
Exactly. So for guys and girls, as you're watching, don't just let it be information. As we always say, information's great, but it's only really useful if it's applied. So take it, apply it. We're asking for 3 minutes. Share your thoughts, share your progress. Let us know how you feel afterwards. But the bottom line is, go give it a try now and share it with your friends and family. We'll talk to you all soon.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
See you later.